Arlo, I've been trying, really. But I still don't get the hype. Taurus just wants snacks and naps. Virgo obsesses over wrinkles in their bedsheets. And Capricorn, well, they act like fun is a federal offense.
By Jupiter's mighty thunder, Ella, you wound them. These signs are the bones and bricks of the cosmos. Steady, reliable, profoundly wise. You're reading them through a modern lens that only sees surface patterns.
I am reading them through a modern lens, and I've spent years doing so. Earth signs feel dense. They're practical, yes, but emotionally, muted. Taurus can be indulgent, Virgo can be neurotic, and Capricorn, emotionally walled off. Where's the soul in that?
Soul? They are the soul of reality. Great Saturn's timeless rings. They're not loud about it, but Earth signs manifest the divine through form, structure, and service. Traditional astrology doesn't reduce them to memes, Ella. It reveals their dignity.
That sounds poetic, but is it useful? What can someone really learn from being a Taurus or having a Virgo moon if it just means they're the responsible one in every room?
But that's where you miss the deeper layers. Responsibility isn't a burden in traditional astrology, it's sacred duty. Today, I'll show you the true purpose behind Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Not just what they do, but what they preserve.
All right, you've piqued my interest. If there's more to them than spreadsheets and emotional walls, I'm listening.
By the blazing constellations. Welcome back, stellar students, to episode 20 of Learn Traditional Astrology. I'm your host Arlo, and today we journey deep into the ancient mysteries of the earth signs. Joining me are the ever-sharp Ella, the grounded Clara, and the inquisitive Katrina. And of course, assisting us as always is our tireless AI scholar, Cherry. So glad to have you all here.
Thanks, Arlo. What are we learning today?
Today, we're digging into the earth signs. Practical, grounded, and often misunderstood. Love them or dismiss them, they hold incredible value. But before we get into it, Clara, would you mind reminding us what we covered about the Earth triplicity back in episode 17?
With pleasure. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn form the Earth triplicity. In traditional astrology, Earth signs are cold and dry in quality and associated with a melancholic temperament. They're practical, organized, constructive, and deeply pragmatic.
Beautifully put, Clara. That foundation sets us up perfectly. Now let's dive into each Earth sign, starting with the first, Taurus, the steadfast bull. Ella, let's start with the basics. Where does Taurus fall in the seasons of the tropical zodiac?
Taurus belongs to the spring season. It is a fixed sign that shows up when spring is fully established. Fixed signs tend to hold energy steady and carry things forward once they begin.
Well said. Taurus, the fixed earth sign, carries the momentum of spring. It has a steady nature and a powerful creative force rooted in patience and presence.
All right, but why the bull? Out of all the animals, what makes that symbol stick?
By Saturn's stern gaze. The bull was one of the earliest constellations honored in ancient Mediterranean cultures. It represented the season of growth, the awakening of the land, and the start of agriculture. Humanity's first collaboration with nature began with the bull.
And Taurus marked the vernal equinox from around 4000 to 2000 BC. The ancient Hebrews put it at the start of their zodiac and linked it to the letter Aleph. The Babylonians called it Gur Anna, or the bull of heaven.
Exactly. In ancient Egypt, the bull was connected to the goddess Isis. When the sun passed over Taurus in spring, it was seen as a symbolic sacrifice that ensured fertility and a bountiful harvest.
And the Greeks gave it a different flavor. They tied Taurus to Zeus and one of his many colorful adventures. It added a whole new meaning to the idea of fertility.
True enough. Katrina, I see you've been studying the myths. Ella, which planet rules Taurus?
Venus, and the moon is exalted in Taurus.
Correct. Taurus is the nocturnal home of Venus. But unlike Libra, which expresses Venus through balance and ideals, Taurus brings out her earthy, sensual, and fertile qualities. Pleasure, beauty, and the gifts of nature are all part of the bull's domain.
Taurian individuals often show creativity, though they are not always driven to innovate. Earth signs tend to maintain stability rather than push for change. Taurus prefers preserving what already works.
That explains why so many Tauruses love gardening, cooking, or music. They seem to be drawn to anything that uses the senses or creates beauty from raw material. And yes, they definitely appreciate good food.
Venus in action through feasting and crafting. That tracks. But Arlo, I have a question. Why exactly is the moon exalted in Taurus?
Excellent question. Some say the exaltation comes from the moon's first visibility in spring. But in simpler terms, Taurus offers something that the moon deeply values: stability. In Cancer, its home, the moon is changeable and emotional. In Taurus, the moon finds calm. The bull holds space for emotions to settle and grow slowly over time.
That makes sense. It's like the moon finds peace in Taurus.
Exactly. Now let's hear what the ancients had to say. Cherry, what did Valens write about Taurus?
From the Anthologies, Vettius Valens describes Taurus as: Taurus is feminine, solid, lying in the sun's spring tropic, full of bones, with some limbs missing. Rising backwards, setting straight down, this sign is productive of order, earthy, rustic, related to farming, a freedman, downward trending, with few offspring, semi-vocal and mute, noble, invariable, energetic, unfinished, indicative of estates and possessions. Men born under this sign are noble, energetic, toilsome, good at keeping things, pleasure-loving, music-loving, generous. Some are laborers, propagators, planters. If benefics incline toward this place, or if the house ruler is favorably situated, men become priests and school superintendents, as well as those judged worthy of crowns and of the purple, of monuments and statues, also supervisors of temples and distinguished and brilliant individuals.
Pleasure-loving, music-loving, generous. The bull offers so much more than people give it credit for. Now, which body part does Taurus rule?
The neck and throat. That might explain why so many singers have Taurus placements.
And Taurus is known for physical strength. Like an ox, they carry burdens without complaint, but it takes effort to get them moving in the first place.
Exactly. Try to push a bull, and you will meet resistance. But offer the right incentive, and they will walk beside you with full dedication. That's Taurus in action.
I'm starting to see the beauty in Taurus. What's next, Arlo?
Next up, we explore the maiden. Virgo is calling. By Mercury's swift wings. Ella, give us a quick overview of Virgo's place in the seasons.
Virgo belongs to the summer season. It is a mutable sign that appears as summer comes to a close and prepares the way for autumn.
Excellent, Ella. Virgo is the only explicitly female constellation in the zodiac, and it is symbolized by the maiden.
I wonder why the maiden is linked with Virgo.
Good question. The constellation of Virgo originally included some of the stars we now associate with Libra. In the ancient Mediterranean, it aligned with the sun during the fall harvest, so it became associated with several harvest and fertility goddesses. These included Ceres, the Roman grain goddess, Vesta, and the Vestal Virgins who protected Rome's sacred flame, and even the Virgin Mary in later traditions.
The maiden is often shown with wings, holding a palm branch and an ear of grain. The grain clearly represents the harvest, but the palm frond is interesting too. It was a symbol of the Egyptian scribe god Tot.
What about the Babylonian view?
They called the constellation Absin, meaning the furrow. It symbolized untouched land that was about to bear fruit. That is likely because the full moon in Virgo, which happens when the sun is in Pisces, marked the start of spring in ancient Mesopotamia. They associated Virgo with Niboba, a goddess of both grain and writing, who was later linked with Nabu, the scribe god and a personification of Mercury.
Exactly. Later, Virgo would also be associated with goddesses like Ishtar and Demeter, both of whom went through journeys into the underworld. These myths helped explain the seasonal cycle. Now for the easy question. Which planet rules Virgo?
Mercury rules Virgo, and Mercury is exalted there as well.
Yes, this double influence of Mercury gives Virgo sharp intellect and quick movement. Virgo has always been tied to the written word, from the palm leaves of Thoth to the script of Niboba. The mind of the maiden is precise.
Virgo's clarity comes from its steady temperament. Unlike Gemini, which collects facts from curiosity, Virgo filters everything it gathers. It keeps only what is useful and discards what is not. That is what gives Virgo its analytical strength.
Now tell me, which planets struggle in Virgo?
Jupiter is in detriment in Virgo. Venus is in her fall here.
Exactly. Jupiter, which prefers expansion and abundance, can feel cramped by Virgo's constant attention to small details. Venus, who delights in pleasure and ease, finds little comfort in Virgo's sense of duty and restraint.
Cherry, could you share what Valens says about Virgo?
Certainly. Vettius Valens writes, Virgo is the house of Mercury, feminine, winged, anthropomorphic, luxurious, standing like the figure of justice, bicorporeal, barren, a freedman, with no offspring, downward trending, earthy, common, semi-vocal or mute, concerned with the body, incomplete, changeable, industrious, two-natured. Men born under this sign are noble, modest, religious, burdened with care, leading a quite varied life, administrators of others' goods, trusted, good stewards, secretaries, accountants, actors, practitioners of curious arts and seekers after mystic lore, spendthrifts in their early years but prosperous later in life.
Administrators of others' goods, trusted, good stewards, secretaries, accountants. That is a textbook Virgo if I ever heard one.
Now, what part of the body does Virgo rule?
The belly and the digestive system.
I think it is time we climb toward Capricorn.
Indeed. Let us meet the goatfish. By Saturn's stern gaze. Clara, help us begin our climb. Can you walk us through Capricorn's connection with the seasons?
Gladly. Capricorn marks the beginning of winter. When the sun enters Capricorn, it signals the start of the coldest season. It is a cardinal sign and a solstitial one. This is because the sun changes its direction at this point and begins moving northward. As a cardinal sign, Capricorn initiates change and carries the energy of new beginnings.
Beautifully put, Clara.
But I always thought Capricorn was just the goat, so why do we call it the goatfish?
Great question. The Babylonians honored a deity named Ea, the antelope of the ocean. He was a god of water, wisdom, and magic. Like Aquarius, Capricorn's watery symbolism comes from its link to the winter rains in the northern hemisphere. Ea was later adopted by the Greeks as Oannes, a half-human, half-fish being who rose from the ocean to share wisdom with humanity. And he did this not once, but 4 times.
That fits perfectly. In the darkest part of winter, the sun hits its lowest point in the sky before beginning its rise again. It is like Oannes emerging from the ocean depths or the goat beginning its climb up a steep, frozen mountain.
Well said, Katrina. Now, someone remind me which planet rules Capricorn.
Easy peasy. Saturn rules Capricorn, and Mars is exalted in this sign.
Exactly. The double symbolism of the goatfish and the rulership of Saturn tells us a lot about Capricorn. Saturn gives form, boundaries, and discipline. Capricorn reflects the order of society and its hierarchies, standing in contrast to Aquarius, which questions those structures and pushes beyond them.
That makes sense. While Aquarians challenge authority, Capricorns care about status and structure. They are more material than idealistic. They build slow and steady, not for applause but to achieve solid results. Like the goat, they climb toward their goals with determination, but they also carry the depth and wisdom of the sea in their foundations.
And what about Mars being exalted in Capricorn? Why would the planet of action thrive here?
Mars is exalted in Capricorn because this sign knows how to use energy efficiently. Mars represents action, drive, and even aggression. But in Capricorn, that force is harnessed toward long-term goals. The sign's connection to winter scarcity teaches it not to waste energy. Every move is strategic.
And Jupiter has trouble in Capricorn, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Capricorn is born in the depths of winter. It knows how to ration, how to wait, and how to act only when necessary. Jupiter, which favors abundance and expansion, feels limited here. That is why it is in detriment in Capricorn.
Exactly. Restraint becomes a defining keyword. Now, Cherry, would you share what Valens says about Capricorn?
Of course. Vettius Valens writes, Capricorn is the house of Saturn, feminine, tropic, earthy, destructive, barren, downward trending, chilling, mute, servile, the cause of troubles, brutal, lurking, mysterious, two-natured, moist, half-finished, a hunchback, Lame, the descendant of the universe, indicative of misfortune and toil, a sculptor, a farmer. Men born under this sign are bad, warped. They pretend goodness and sincerity. They are toilsome, burdened with care, insomniac, fond of jokes, plotters of great deeds, prone to make unfortunate mistakes, fickle, criminal, lying, always criticizing, shameful.
Yikes. Valens really had strong feelings about Capricorns.
Within the realm of Saturn, the greater malefic, life becomes a test. Capricorn's world is full of structure, limits, and hardship, but these trials also give them strength. Now, who can tell me the body part linked to Capricorn?
That would be the knees.
Correct. Capricorn is also associated with the joints, bones, and skin. These are the structures that support and hold the body together, just like Capricorn's role in the zodiac. And now, how about a quick summary before we close?
We are ready.
Alright, time for our quick recap. Ella, you're up first. Tell us what we need to remember about Taurus.
With pleasure. Taurus is a feminine, nocturnal, and fixed sign. Since it belongs to the Earth triplicity, it is cold and dry in temperament. Venus rules Taurus, and this is her nocturnal home. Taurus is calm, stable, practical, sensual, and tenacious. It is also known for its love of nature, music, and finances. Being a fixed sign, Taurus can be a bit stubborn. Planets in Taurus tend to move slowly and cautiously. Mars in Taurus can sometimes show up as hidden or suppressed anger. Taurus rules the neck and throat. When afflicted, it can indicate issues like sore throats or thyroid problems.
Superb, Ella. You captured it beautifully. Clara, your turn now. Give us Virgo.
Sure, Arlo. Virgo is a feminine, nocturnal, and mutable sign. It is melancholic in temperament and part of the Earth triplicity. Virgo is also the nocturnal house of Mercury. The traits of Virgo include being practical, detail-focused, utilitarian, analytical, and modest. Virgo tends to be critical, but also extremely useful in any setting. Planets placed in Virgo often take on a discriminating and categorizing nature. They analyze, sort, and sometimes criticize. Virgo rules the belly and the intestines. If afflicted in a chart, it may point to digestive issues.
Wonderful as always, Clara. Now Katrina, bring us home with Capricorn.
Capricorn is a feminine, nocturnal, and cardinal sign. It is melancholic and belongs to the Earth triplicity. Saturn rules Capricorn, and this is his nocturnal home. Capricorn is known for being responsible, patient, organized, and very hardworking. It is disciplined, stoic, and sometimes leans toward pessimism. Planets in Capricorn tend to move carefully. They act with caution, weighing risks before taking action. Capricorn rules the knees, and more broadly, the bones and joints. These are the parts that give us structure.
Fantastic, Katrina. That wraps up our exploration of the Earth signs. In our next episode, we will wade into the deep emotional waters and explore the water signs.
Looking forward to it already.
If you've been enjoying this journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments.
Until next time, keep your eyes on the stars.
Bye.
Transmission complete. Logging off.